You're gonna love this.
What is up, everybody? Back again with another video. Today we're going to be welcoming a new guest on the show to do our weekly picks, and his name is JetsCentral. You may all already know him. He has his own YouTube. You can subscribe. I'll put his name in the comment section below. Without further ado, we welcome you to the set, JetsCentral. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome a new guest on the show. His name is JetsCentral. He's already got a YouTube page. A lot of people know him. Welcome to the show, Jets.
What's going on? What's going on? Happy to be here. Happy to be doing it. Ready for the picks. Let's go.
All right, let's get right into it then. Let's first start with a recap of the Thursday night game. Texans at Patriots. Disappointing show of offense for the Texans. What are your thoughts?
You know, everyone wants to talk about Jacoby Brissett and whatnot, and he did have a pretty good game. Honestly, he did. But the point of the game that I was really shocked at was just the play of the Texans. Defensively, sluggish, and then offensively, fumbling the ball, dropping passes, running into just brick walls. Honestly, I thought in the first quarter that Houston Texans played pretty well. But then after that, it just kind of went all downhill, and I was just really shocked at the play of the Texans overall, and they just couldn't get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I was pretty much disappointed with much of the same. I expected a lot more out of the Texans, man. Brock Osweiler, Lamar Miller, they've got Will Fuller in the draft.
Hopkins.
Yeah, Hopkins, you already know he's a threat. They've got a revamped offense, a tight defense. Everybody knows they're aggressive. But the fact that not only could they not put any points on the board, but they couldn't stop New England barely ever in the game. They lose 27-0. Disappointing show in primetime football for Texans fans. I can't imagine how they feel now.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Patriots rolled to 3-0 without even Tom Brady in the first 3 games. That's another discussion for another time, though. Like I've said, Patriots have been a system team for years. It's easy for a lot of quarterbacks to just jump in there and just play. They don't really have to do much. But that's another time. All right, next up we've got the Cardinals at Buffalo. Rex Ryan looking for a big statement here in New York. What do you think is going to happen, Jets?
Honestly, I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. You look at both teams, and Buffalo just came off a heartbreaking loss against the Jets. They just fired Greg Roman, so it's going to be interesting to see what their offense brings to the table in this game. But after watching Arizona's beatdown of Tampa Bay, I like the Cardinals in this game. Even though it's an outside game, they're not going to be playing in the dome like they did or like they usually do. Overall, I like the Cards in this game. I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be closer than what people think. A lot of people think it's going to be definitely a big blowout, kind of like last week, like 40-7. But honestly, I think it's going to be closer. But I think the Cards come away victorious. What about you?
Yeah, you know what? A lot of people are giving the Cardinals a lot of heat because of the way they played in Week 1 against the Patriots. Let me tell you something. As much as I hate him, Bill Belichick is one of the finest coaches in the NFL. It is hard to beat him. It's very hard to game plan against him, and it's hard to game plan against the Patriots' offense and the defense, and they're all put together so well. Arizona was faced with a tough test in Week 1. They fell short. Week 2, they showed they are still a tough team in the NFL. They ran all over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Was it even in Arizona, or was it at Tampa Bay?
I actually think it was in Arizona. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was in Arizona.
Okay,
Still, regardless, I mean.
Yeah, man. When you lose by 33, man, when you lose by 33 to a team, you know that team is a force to be reckoned with. Arizona's all over the field. Michael Floyd, Larry Fitzgerald, Doug. I always forget their running back, David Robinson, right? He's a beast, man. Their defense is a beast, man. It's going to be a tough test for Rex Ryan. If they can pull out this win somehow, shock the world. The Bills are still in there for something, God knows what it might be. Whether it's 12 20th pick overall or the 5th pick overall. But I think, Arizona is going to come out and make a statement in Buffalo. Next up, we've got two lower card teams over the past few years in the AFC facing off. Oakland at Tennessee. What do you think?
Tennessee's at home. I'm going to go with the Raiders. You know what? On second thought, I'm going to go with the Titans. A little upset pick. The reason why I say that, even though the Raiders have looked pretty good on offense this season, I mean, they put up a ton of points on New Orleans. But overall, I think what the Titans are going to come in and do, I think they're just going to hand the ball off and just try to manage the game, try to just stay on offense as long as possible, and just, Derrick Henry, DeMarco Murray, hand the ball off and just control the clock. That's what I think the Titans are going to do in this game and take advantage of Oakland's defense that hasn't really lived up to expectations, really. But, I think this game is going to be low scoring. I could also see Oakland just blowing Tennessee out of the water if Tennessee comes in the game fumbling the ball and, costly penalties and sacks and whatnot. But, I could really say that for any game. But, I'm actually going to go with the upset in this game. I'm going to go with the Titans. They're at home. I think they're just going to try to take advantage of, like I said, the Raiders defense that hasn't really lived up to expectations. What about you?
All right, I'm going to go with the Raiders in this pick, but I do see it could go either way. But I got to take the Raiders. They're looking to make an offensive statement this year. The defense hasn't lived up to expectations, like you said, but that's what Oakland's going to have to rely on this year is their offense. I think Amari Cooper is desperately seeking his 3-touchdown, 200-yard receiving game once again. He hasn't had it yet this year. Michael Crabtree, their offense, I think the Raiders put up a little too much for the Titans to handle. Mariota, I do see them being either second or third in the division this year, especially if the Texans continue to fall down. So I'm going to take the Raiders in this game by a score of 23-17.
Yeah, I can see it playing out like that. Yeah, I could go either way, Raiders or Titans, but.
Oh yeah. All right. Next up, we're going to bring a lot of viewers in with this game. Redskins at Giants, NFC East battle. The Redskins are 0-2, seeking everything they can get. They're desperate for a win here, man. Divisional game on the road. Giants are looking hotter than ever to start the season off. What's your take on this game?
This one's tough. Giants obviously brought in a lot of pieces on defense, and they've looked pretty good so far. But honestly, I think I'm going to go with the Washington Redskins in this game. The reason why I say that, I think the defense, and I think Jay Gruden tried to do something that he wasn't comfortable with in the beginning of the season and whatnot. And I think that they're going to simplify things on offense and defense by putting Norman on the number one wide receiver and just making things simple. That's what I think the Redskins are going to do, and I think the Redskins are going to win this game. I really do. Obviously, they're away, so it's going to be in New Meadowlands Stadium. So if the Redskins can win this game, it's going to be huge. It's obviously going to be all over the media with the whole OBJ versus Norman situation, and that it should be cool to watch. But yeah, I got the Redskins in this game. I think Kirk Cousins is going to bounce back after 2 horrendous weeks, not numbers wise and stuff like that, but just throwing costly picks, end of games, stuff like that. So everyone I've talked to has picked the Giants. I'm going to go out on a limb and pick the Redskins. They're still a very good team. I like the Redskins. What are you thinking?
The most common thing the Giants have done over the past 6 years, we'll say 6 years, is they've known how to lose games when they're expected to win. And I think that's going to happen here. I think Eli has gotten a little too comfortable in his system, and he hasn't really faced any, top premier corners yet. I do think that...
Really?
Yeah, I do think Odell Beckham gets shut down in this game by Josh Norman. I think that this rivalry is going to go on. It's going to be a fun rivalry to watch all year. I think Odell Beckham gets shut down. We will see a lot out of Victor Cruz in this game, however. I think Victor Cruz gets about 90 yards, maybe a touchdown. But the Giants lose a close game at home. The Redskins desperate for the win. Captain Kirk, you like that? is back to play, and the Redskins win 20-19.
I like Kirk Cousins a lot. I really do.
I hope he
He'd
bounces
actually be a really
back.
good fit in the Jets system.
Yeah, maybe so. No wishful thinking there. You don't want to.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Cleveland at Miami, the game that is voted by the NFL publishers as the most unlikely to be watched game this weekend. All right, who do you think? 2-0-2 teams. What do you think?
Right. Miami has definitely not impressed anybody. Their defense actually made a statement up against Seattle, but then falling apart against New England, and then showing that Seattle can. I don't even think they scored a touchdown against the Rams, and everyone knows how bad the Rams are. It's pretty obvious that the Dolphins are not the team that everyone thought they were. But then again, look who they're playing. They're playing Cleveland. Everyone knows Cleveland's story about the quarterbacks. They lose all these games. They never make the playoffs and whatnot. It's just a big mess with Cleveland. Also taking this into consideration too is Cody Kessler's making his first start. People were saying that this guy shouldn't have even been drafted in the third round, let alone been drafted at all. But the Browns took him in the third round. Hugh Jackson said, "Trust me on this one. He's going to be good and whatnot," and stuff like that. So, two bad teams, but Miami, they're at home. They have at least some players in place, like Sue, like Devontae Parker, like Landry. I think I got the Miami Dolphins in this game. I don't like the Dolphins, but I got them in this game.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins in this game too. I mean, it's too hard of a matchup. Between the Browns and the Bears, I think those are among the worst NFL teams, and not by decision. They don't want to be the worst, but they're forced to be because of the quarterback scares, the teams falling apart all around the quarterback, injuries. I think this is a tough road test for Cleveland. I think Miami pulls it off at home. They're down in Florida. It's hard to beat them there anyway. New England even loses to them once every year, usually in Miami.
Yep.
So give me Miami. I think Tannehill and the offense of the Dolphins really wakes up in this game. And they wake up early enough to get a good lead and force turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Dolphins win at 21-10.
Nice, yeah, I like that pick.
All right,
next up. Score,
next up we got Ravens at Jaguars.
I like the Jags in this game, just up front of that. I like the Jags. I think that the Ravens are definitely overrated from a personnel standpoint, and their isn't as good as everyone's saying. Okay, it was I got the Jags in this game. I think that the amount of offensive weapons that Blake Bortles has, I just think the Jags are just going to outscore Baltimore. Baltimore's not going to be able to keep up. What about you?
Yeah, I got the Ravens in this game.
Ravens got that, man. I'm sorry.
Ravens, dude.
All right, we good?
All right, yeah. So it's I'm taking Baltimore in this game. I think Jacksonville really needs to win the game. I'm not even sure what the record is. They might be 1-1. They might be 0-2. But I know the Jacksonville.
The Jags are 0-2.
Jacksonville needs this win. Their offense is going to step up in this game, but I think I take Flacco over Bortles in a shootout deep down the field. I think the Ravens barely win this game, and 30-28. 30-28. I could be wrong.
I can see that happening, man. I could really see that playing out.
Yeah, that's just one of those iffy games this week. All right, and next is a huge battle. This one's going to be important later on down the stretch. Broncos at Bengals.
Damn, this one's going to be tough for both teams. But I like the Bengals in this game.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like the Bengals in this game. They showed that they didn't really do too much against the Steelers offensively. I will say this. The reason why I picked the Bengals is that I feel like they're going to be back on track. They're going to be at home. It's not going to be a torrential downpour like it was against the Steelers.